Hello.
Oops, sorry. Yeah, if you just want to get going, that's great.
Yeah, we're all good, right? Perfect. Okay, so hello everyone. As you know, my name is Rhianna, and basically I'm here to share with you all what I've experienced as an engineering student and as a student in general from when I first discovered my degree discipline until now, where it pretty much rules everything that I think about. I'm blessed to be a president of an incredible society called Handprints e-NABLE Scotland, and I'll be telling you all about that as well and how you can get involved. Yeah, so basically in high school, I was always into sciences, although not chemistry. That I never liked that. It occurred to me very early on that there was something missing from my school, and I thought, what would have spurred on the students, especially the girls within the sciences? There was none of that. There was never any talks or discussions about careers in science. It was always about exam preparation and never what are you actually going to do with these exams. Looking back, I remember one of my teachers trying to discourage me from choosing the kind of cursed arrangement of physics and biology as opposed to biochem or chem physics, but thank God I did in the end. The first time I ever came into contact with engineering was upon asking a friend what he wanted to do after school. And when he told me engineering, I remember thinking, oh, he must be pretty smart then. And I hadn't really any idea, to be honest, about what the engineer actually entailed, but maybe that's because it was never really explained to me as an option whilst I was in school. In my eyes, the students that went on to do engineering had engineering parents or dads, and they were pretty much set on that track from the beginning. I, on the other hand, knew something for sure, and that was that I loved animals and biology, as most females in STEM do. It's quite well known, obviously, that women in science are present in the biology fields more so, which is really more so surprising being where I am now and seeing how incredible my friends are within this discipline. So yeah, I did have an amazing teacher though, who taught physics, and she was pretty accomplished in her field. I feel like we all have that one teacher that really sticks with us, and Rona was that teacher for me. She knew I loved physics, and not only that, that I was actually not too bad at it as well. She pushed me to participate in engineering competitions at Strathclyde Uni. I absolutely loved, and she always kept me in the loop with modern advancements in physics and engineering, with books or movies or posters from my wall. It's funny because back then I didn't know that I'd end up in engineering, but I feel like she always kind of knew that I would. Everything really changed for me when I was in my fifth year. My mum was diagnosed with MS, and a hugely important family member passed away for me. My outlook on school life and academia, my health and my passion for all my interests and hobbies declined completely. And it was some of the hardest years of my life, and it ended with me leaving school with only 2 hires in maths and English. And also thanks to the predicted grade allowances being scrapped that year, I wasn't allowed all the grades that had been predicted. So going from a top student with so much ahead of me to kind of feeling like I was being left behind completely whilst my friends all excelled was pretty debilitating. For the next few years of my life, I worked hard in restaurants and cafes around Glasgow, eventually taking an impulsive kind of find yourself trip. I always managed to slip that picture in to Thailand with a work friend, and I totally did. I found myself. Upon arriving home, I remember my close friends coming to visit me at work and saying, "This is so great. I can't wait for you to have your own cafe one day. You were made for this." And I just stood there and thought, wow, I didn't know I needed a wake-up call, but that was definitely it. So the same day, I applied for Glasgow Clyde College, and this was to take on as many hires as it would need for me to get into uni. College was the most rewarding and positive educational experience of my life, and I will always be an advocate for helping students see that college is an incredible option for taking on before this huge leap into a degree. My chosen course at uni was marine biology, and looking back, I am just as confused as you are. I believe it was probably my choice due to only thinking of my love for animals and biology at that point from when I was younger. At the open day, the week before I was due to start, my mum joined me for one of the lectures being held in the biology department, and I believe that the look that we shared in those first 15 or so minutes and hearing what the course would entail, we both kind of knew that it was not the right choice for me. So happened that same day, the James Watt South Engineering Building had also opened its doors to prospective students. I was introduced to a legend of biomedical engineering, Liz Tanner, who coined the course. And within a short period of time, she had me completely hooked. I do remember standing there with her phone in my hand as she put me on with the head of engineering, thinking, surely I can't get this lucky. But sure enough, I started my first day of engineering that Monday. Biomedical engineering, for those of you who may not know, can be summarised as solving medical problems and engineering solutions. The course is a blend of all forms of engineering in the beginning, followed by more specific subjects down the line, such as biomechanics, biosensors, biological fluid mechanics, etc. I've really enjoyed my degree. Obviously, there's been a few exceptions. And I knew the promotion of my degree was something I always really wanted to be a part of, mainly due to the fact that I was fed up with people not taking the course as seriously in comparison to more traditional forms of discipline. And this was when I discovered Handprints e-NABLE. So e-NABLE, or Enabling the Future as they're known, are an incredible organisation that hosts an open domain online for free downloads of their prosthetic limb as an arm. This is used globally by many chapters of the e-NABLE family that all work towards the kind of overall goal of providing 3D printed prosthetics free of charge to those in need. Handprints e-NABLE Scotland was started as the Scottish chapter of e-NABLE in 2017 by a team of driven students at Glasgow Uni who aimed to put the biomedical engineering students' skills to good use. It's well known that there are many other societies for the likes of mechanical and aero that revolve around real-world skills, hence why it was so important that Handprints was created for biomedical students. In my first year, I signed up for a summer project where I was to design and build a prosthetic for a young girl. It's actually the one just here in this image. It was really eye-opening for me, and I remember thinking how mad it was that even as a first year, I was making a real difference to someone's life thanks to my degree. It turns out it's actually not that difficult. The process goes: find a recipient with an upper limb deficiency. Most of our recipients are below the elbow amputees. These recipients come into contact with us either through social media, word of mouth, or the e-NABLE forums. The recipient is then fitted using measurement techniques such as plaster casts, or even a pioneering method with Xbox Connect scanning technology. This has now been advanced by some new scanning equipment called Recap Pro that was introduced to us by Autodesk. I will name drop a lot during this talk, alongside our love of Fusion 360 as well. Following this, the measurements are altered in the e-NABLE prosthetic design on SolidWorks or Fusion 360, before the model is then printed using one of our Prusa 3D printers. The total cost of an arm is about £20. Of course, we don't charge the recipient for this. And the plastic that we use is thermal plastic that allows for manipulation when it's been placed in boiling water. And this allows for the forearm portion of the arm to be moulded to the amputated limb. All the individual finger pieces are slotted together and held with pins before strings are run through the device to mimic the tendons of the forearm and produce a clasping motion when the elbow is bent. My greatest skill appeared to be talking, if you hadn't already gathered that. And so when it was suggested to give the educational division of the society a try, I found I was especially good at speaking about handprints. During my time within education, we reached a huge number of schools and educational facilities, such as the Glasgow Science Centre for Curiosity Live, teaching the children all about the wonders of engineering, biomedical especially, and of course all about Handprints e-NABLE and what it has to offer. In my third year, I became educational coordinator, and with my team, we visited the most amount of schools the society had ever reached, with plans laid to make Handprints a must-see for all schools in the local areas. This year, Stephanie, our new coordinator, probably had the toughest time out of all of our divisions to keep the momentum going with the new schooling plans due to COVID. She has, however, done an incredible job, and this year we've advanced the educational plans by creating a coding portion of the class where students are able to learn basic coding skills and create games on the platform Scratch. It's just shown here on the right. There are now also design workshops using online versions of Tinkercad and Fusion 360, where students can build simple prosthetic devices, allowing for school learning without the need for multiple downloads or specifically skilled demonstrators. A competition is also in development at the moment where students are given a hand design on Fusion 360 and they must add their own unique components to it. This will be published in collaboration with Autodesk on their platform that has over 1 million subscribers. We're also so honoured this year to work in collaboration with many other engineering societies, especially FemEng, on a bunch of really exciting educational workshops. The second division I'll share with you is the outreach division. This has a slightly different meaning within Handprints as it does within other societies. We use outreach as a means to reach out to different sources of inspiration for the prosthetics that we make. The division this year was split into 5 teams, which are bespokes, animal mobility, rehabilitation, learning aids and recipient projects. Bespoke looks into creating individual attachments or progressions of the Enable prosthetic in order to provide a device that suits each individual's request. They've mainly been doing R&D work as well as producing learning aids for schools, such as these dexterity enhancers for all the young children. Here we go, there's there. Oh no, here we are. That's it there. So the learning aids there, and also some Braille tiles as well to teach Braille to children. The division was also involved with the production and distribution of COVID-19 face shields for the healthcare workers in Scotland and Uruguay, which was an extremely rewarding portion of our work this year. There we go. Moving on to our myoelectric division, it's run by a long-time member, Maya, hence her nickname is Maya Electrics. The aim of Myo is to integrate electrical components throughout the prosthetic design and create a device that allows a recipient who maybe can't control from the elbow to be able to completely utilise it effectively. Myo was one of the newest divisions to be officiated, as it was initially a summer project that was run through the society. This is why we put a lot more resources into it in recent years, so that we can start really making moves of the designs that have been laid out. You can see here some of the work, including the prototype hand that they're working on. Fusion 360 was also used in its creation, and it will be 3D printed before the electronics are implemented. That will pull the tendon-like strings that I mentioned earlier, and it will contract the hand without any need for elbow control. Myo have also been an incredible addition to the society and have now participated in a couple of inspiring TEDx talks that seem to spur on a huge influx of Myo division applications this year. The prosthetics division is run by Yazan and is our longest running cohort. Their prerogative is to source recipients and build them their first prosthetics. The first and foremost rule of Handprints e-NABLE Scotland. As an example, this year they managed to send devices to an incredible recipient in the Caribbean, Kayla. I mean, just look at her, she's so cute. She needed a wrist-controlled device, and the team even managed to decorate it like her favourite character. The division is now advancing the original e-NABLE designs using generative design from Fusion 360, which is shown here in the middle. The software uses AI to produce the best version of the device whilst using the least material, and can produce some fairly alien-looking concepts. The future prospects for the prosthetics are to become even more efficient and hard-wearing for our recipients. We want to provide them with years of support. We currently have 3 wrist-controlled prosthetists in production at the moment, and hope to provide exactly this. Prosthetics have also undertaken a dexterity project where the team are aiming to individually control each finger of the prosthetic device. The division is in regular contact with other e-NABLE chapters and researchers from various universities worldwide in order to keep continuously working as one of the most active chapters of e-NABLE. Another hugely important division is the newest of the lot. Recently upgraded from a single role to a team of dedicated experts, the technicians keep Handprints running smoothly and have achieved some of the most innovative and outstanding feats of the society. Alistair, the lead tech, has elevated the team to new heights by forging new collaborations and coming up with entirely new concepts for the division. Last year, he won the Grassroots and Design Spark Award for his design of a finger grip to be utilised within the Handprints prosthetics, just shown here. Just to top it up, he entered again this year as a duo with another of our members, Rachel, and the two of them went on to win for a second year running for their palm grip prosthetic design. Another of Alistair's goals was to take Handprints and turn it into a learning experience for all of Biomed. Working alongside some of the faculty members at the uni, he was instrumental in creating the Handprints Guide to Fusion 360 and integrating said work into the Biomedical Engineering course at the uni. The team aimed to escape book learning that a lot of biomed is used to and inject a good dose of practical learning into their academics. He's also been a great leader in terms of gaining experience influence from the outside sources. For example, Dr. Rushdie, a maxillofacial surgeon from India, who upon meeting us had a skull 3D printed in order to better demonstrate to her patients the procedures that she'd be conducting. I can't stress enough how important our media division has been over the past few years, bringing in recipients, schools, events, awards, and much more. Earlier leaders worked tirelessly, especially through COVID, and keeping the name of Handprints prominent throughout the uni and the world of prosthetic design. I think you can gather from how much I've mentioned here why we're the largest engineering society within the uni and why we do need such a huge team to do so. Being the president of such an inspiring society has been a dream, and that alongside being present for the highlight of our year, winning not only the Engineering Talent Award Best Society of the Year, but also the Overall Excellence in Engineering Award has been the best moment of my university experience so far. I hope I've proven to you how deserving Handprints as a society is in terms of their success. We see it as a job, and in doing so, each member goes above and beyond with regards to dedication. I know that if I had a visit from this society whilst I was in school, it would have been life-changing. And the same can be said for all other societies that you've heard from over the past 2 days. So thanks very much for listening. And please, if you get the chance, give us a follow on our socials. And if you know anyone who'd be interested in working with us in any capacity, then please be sure to get in touch. Thanks very much.